Hi, everybody.
Yeah, this job went a little sideways on me. So I'm at my boy's car here in the garage, guys. I don't like working in the garage when it's this cold, but really there's no choice. He said to me, he's pretty good about keeping an eye on things. He said it looks like the level has dropped to the minimum on the power steering fluid. And I noticed on the driveway, because I'm constantly shoveling the driveway these days, I noticed there was a few drops of, you know, orangish, reddish oil. And I'm just praying that the rack itself is not leaking. I'm kind of buoyed by the fact that, I don't know if you can see it. It's going to be difficult to see here. It's going to be very difficult to see here. Power steering doesn't have a cooler, but it does have a loop. So you can see here on the drawing, guys, you can easily identify the reservoir. Off of the reservoir comes the heavy hose, which is the supply line to the pump itself. The other line going to the reservoir is the return line from the rack itself. The return line consists of some hose sections and some hard line sections that acts as a cooling loop. And it's on that transition from the hard line to the soft line. That's where the leak appears to be. Can you see how wet that line is there? I'm hoping that the clamp, you can see on the soft line there on the hose, is actually corroded and there's no longer reasonable tension on it. And I think that's where the leak is coming from. I'm hoping that's where the leak is coming from, but it's in a very awkward spot there, back against, in the corner against the firewall there. So that's where I'm going to start my search, but I got to get this thing up on ramps. Go back inside and have a coffee and let the garage heat up. So there's the line, guys. As I said, where the cooling loop hard line transitions to the soft line, it goes down to the rack. Yeah, you can see where it's wet there. Sorry, I know it's not focused great. So there's the clamp, guys. There's the cooling loop hard line. And again, the leak is just at the soft line there. All the gaiters on the rack itself, I'm happy to report, appear to be dry. So I think this is actually our issue. You can see the line here. Yeah, it's not a gusher, but it's leaking enough that it is, you know, is draining down the reservoir over the course of a few weeks. So I don't want my driveway wrecked, so I need to address this. So I can kind of only show you this a wee bit at a time. So yeah, get yourself a drip tray. You're gonna need it. Get yourself some plugs. It's just a tapered punch, brass punch, and don't know if you can see up there, guys. There, up there. You can see I've actually got a line plug just so I don't lose much fluid. Make one hell of a mess here. So this line here, the clamp is not too bad. But what I'm going to do is, because the line is not that short and there is a wee bit of slack, I'm just going to trim the line here by about an inch, just to get rid of the set where in the line where the clamp has been there for 16 years, 17 years, 16, 17 years. And you know, because once the line takes a set, if it's leaking, it might just continue to leak. So I'm going to actually trim that, because again, the length can afford me that. I'm going to replace the clamp. I'll remove that and get one that's obviously suitably sized. And yeah, that's the approach, because it's a very minor leak, guys. You know, I think that will resolve it. I hope so anyway. Okay, so as I said, I just trimmed a piece of the soft line here, guys. So as I said, the thinking is that sometimes when a soft line is clamped, you know, a hose is clamped, it can take a set over the years, and if it starts leaking, it's going to continue to leak because of the set, you know. So there was plenty of space on the line. I just clipped that a little bit. Hose clamp cutters ideally, you know, so you can get a nice flush cut. Get yourself a couple of caps. Have yourself some clamps at the ready in case your clamp was rotten. That clamp was in good shape still, so honestly I just reused it because I prefer to use the original equipment stuff, you know. It's in perfect shape, I think, pretty much. Let me take you underneath them, guys. Obviously, you know, you're going to need something to release the clamp with. Ideally, if you've got the you know, the fancy hose clamp pliers, so much the better. But these are handy for removing the line as well if it's reluctant. So there's the line cleaned up, trimmed, and the clamp back in place, guys. I've actually leak checked it, cycled the wheels back and forth, you know. Oh, that reminds me. Let me show you on the top side. Nothing much to see on the bottom side here. Just again, reuse the clamp and trim the line, and so far so good. Just get yourself a suitable fluid, guys. Just refill your reservoir to whatever line you think is reasonable. I haven't got it right at the fill mark yet because the car's no level, right? So I left myself a wee bit of header space there. Yeah, this is no complicated repair by any stretch of imagination, guys. In fact, I thought twice about even bothering to film it, but you know what, the point is, sometimes you can doomsday yourself. I'm not talking about you guys, I'm talking about me, you know, and you think, oh shit, that's going to be a rack change, and actually it just turns out to be something simple. No, as far as I know, there's no other leaks. Time will tell, but I'm reasonably confident that that's got this like the guys. I've got another job to do on this car. So the mount member that goes back to the subframe here, you guys are familiar with this. This is an issue, clearly. This is rotten. So I'm gonna need to do this. I might do this today. I'm not sure if I'm in the mood for it, to be honest, but clearly this needs done. Well, got myself in a fix now. There's the forward engine mount. You see it there? You can see the bracket and the mount itself still sitting there. I couldn't get the bolt out. It was super tight. My impact on its highest setting normally buzzes this out like nothing, right? That's assuming the bolt is free to rotate in the bushing and the mount itself, which it wasn't. The bolt is seized to the bushing big time. So now I can't get the bolt out. I can't get it out of the bushing. The bushing is trapped the bolt in the bracket. So I'm gonna have to cut it. Fortunately, as you can see, I have another mount and another mount member and another rubber mount itself. So fortunately, between the cross member here, can you see there, with a long blade, I can just get the angle on it to get up in there. I'm going to attempt to cut the bolt, and that's the idea. Not ideal. Wasn't banking on this. See, something goes easier than you expect, and then something goes more difficult than you expect. That's the way it works. Well, that was a fair bit more work than I was anticipating. So the usual, guys, you can see this is shot clearly. It's corroded. I've cut this in order to ease the extraction because I was struggling so much with the other end. I just cut that off to give myself a bit of wiggle room underneath. But you can see the extent of the corrosion is right through. I just flexed this a few times basically, and it broke once I put a small incision in it. You know, it's rotten, as they usually are. How can you tell if you're buying an SX4? One of the first things I suggest you look at is this member here. Now, if you look at these two members, this was actually from, I posted a picture of it at the fire department there a couple of days ago. Before they dragged it away at the fire department, I robbed some of the good stuff from the old car, and I had just replaced this mount member, oh, I don't know, a relatively short time ago, guys. 6 months, a year ago, 18 months. You can tell by the condition it's in. It's still near new. Yeah, there's some garbage on it that I need to clean up, but apart from that, it's still near new. And fortunately, when I took it, I had the good sense, well, really it was just luck. I took the mount as well because I had to destroy this mount in order to remove it, because as you can see, the bolt is seized. Now this obviously sits there. I've torn it out of the rubber shock mount, obviously. As I was trying to torque the bolt out, the bolt was very, very tight. Well, it wasn't tight in the nut, in the anchor nut at the end of the bracket. It was tight in the bushing, obviously. And yeah, the only way that was going to come out was to cut it out, because you have limited access in there. It's not like you're going to punch it out or anything, you know. Not going to happen. So anyway, I know I don't mind Milwaukee tools. I hate their batteries, to be quite honest. But I'm telling you, this little cheap, this is the brushed first generation M12 Sawzall. It's much smaller than the later versions, the brushless. This thing has got me out of a bind on more than one occasion. This is a great tool. And yeah, as you can see, it sawed through both ends of the bolts, because even with the stub of the bolt, I couldn't get this out of the bracket because it's in the C bracket type thing, right? And what was I going to say? So again, fortunately, I've got all the hardware, so it's not an issue, but be aware you might run up against this when you're actually replacing a mount member. The mount member replacement is a very common job that you'll need to do on the SX4, because they ultimately will all go, ultimately. I've had 5 SX4s, 4 of them I've had to replace the mount member on in my climate here in Southern Ontario, right? Just one last thought about this before I leave this alone. Can you see the difference? This is the factory original mount member. The replacement part has a drain hole here, and there's maybe some subtle other changes, but if you don't see that drain hole when you're looking at an SX4, look at this structure very, very closely if you're in a part of the world that is prone to corrosion. Like this is just covered in salt and brine at the moment, right? So these things just disappear, and you can tell the first and second generation mount members by the drain hole, which you can see is clearly absent on the original. I guess that's a mitigation measure, but how much does it do? I don't know. These episodes are always you know, sent to test you, but if you don't learn anything from them, well, then that's on you. Well, that's it, boys. All back together. Plastic's all back on. The mount members replaced, as you can see. New one in place. Yeah, that was a bit frustrating. I've never dealt with that before, but can you say it's unusual, mind-blowing? Wow, I never saw that coming. No, really. It's just old cars, right? Anyway, that's it, boys. If you watched this far, thanks for watching. Cheers.